is making the lid to your dome, okay? So, and also cleaning up the inside. Now, mine is like leather hard, which is not ideally where yours should be. It should be softer than that. So because it's leather hard, it's going to be more difficult to cut through. So just keep that in mind, that if yours gets to the leather hard phase, it's perfect for carving, not so good for the next part, so just be really careful, okay? So you're going to have a choice. If you notice, this one is not just straight across. It has some notches in it, so you know exactly where it fits right back on. If you're gonna do notches, okay, try to make it match similar to kind of what your theme is gonna be. So for example, you know, this one's cactuses, so it kind of made sense to have something pointy, right? But if you have something maybe a little bit more organic, okay, maybe you have it a little bit more rounded, okay? And then also, you're gonna be adding these little notches on the inside so that when you, even though these are gonna let you know where it goes, those on the inside are gonna make sure that it doesn't move side to side, okay? So this is kind of a good goal for your next part, but notice how I didn't put a little area where it dips in. So I'm gonna do that for this one so you guys can see kind of how to do that, okay? So to begin the process, you can take your needle tool or your knife, whatever you're comfortable with. You're not gonna go all the way through. You're gonna choose where from the top down you want your lid to be. It doesn't have to be up here. You know, you can choose, you can even be halfway depending on what the function of yours is gonna be. Some people wanted like the top half to be where a light is gonna sit, so maybe you want that area to be bigger and they were gonna put like a bottom to it. So you can have the freedom to put it somewhere a little bit different, okay? But I'm just gonna generally put it right here. So I have a banding wheel. I'm gonna get the area where I wanna go. Notice how I'm bracing my arm on the table so it doesn't move. And then as I'm not moving my hand, I'm just gonna rotate the banding wheel. And hopefully, if I don't move my finger or my hand at all, that line should meet up. And that should help keep it nice and even. And now I wanna think of what I wanna do for my little notches here. So I think just in 2 areas, I'm gonna give it, maybe in just 1 area, I'm gonna give it a little bit of like a dome, like a half circle shape. So it'll kind of look like that, where when I get to here, I'm gonna come up and do that shape, okay? Next, because mine is leather hard, but you can use this tool too, there's gonna be a bucket or a little container that has these carving tools in it. Okay, the carving tools have kind of an X-Acto knife on one side. I find that to be like really precise, and it's also not so long, so it's more stable. You can also use your fettling knife, but whatever works for you, okay? But I'm gonna start here. Notice how I'm putting my knife in completely horizontal, okay? And then I'm gonna start pulling it really slowly towards me. And I'm taking my time because I really wanna follow the line that I just made. I don't wanna, once you cut it, you cut it. There's really no going back. So just do a little bit, rotate, and then a little bit, and then rotate it. Again, because mine is leather hard, it takes more effort to go through, where yours, if you do it a little bit softer, you're not gonna have to pull it so hard towards you. So just really feel how much pressure you really need to do. And I'm also still bracing my elbow on the table. Okay. So right when I get to that notch, I'm gonna slow down, and then I'm gonna start going the other way. And again, I'm gonna try to find that line, follow it. And I'm kind of now carving like a pumpkin, going in and out, okay? So it should pop off nicely. Notice how the inside is pretty sloppy. That's where I paddled the dome on. So then before you do really anything else, take maybe 5 minutes or so to clean out the inside. So you guys, if it's soft enough, you can just go with your fingers and soften it out. You might need to carve some away, okay? But for mine, I would have to take maybe my carving tool and actually get in there, okay, and try to smooth it out, okay? Make it more like just one piece rather than having it look like two separate pieces there. Do you guys have a question? No? Okay. So that would be how I'd go about cleaning that out here. You'll see this one, I already worked on it. So it's pretty smooth. I can do a little bit more, all right? And then my next step would be just to smooth out the edges. It's really hard. You can see it's all like, you know, has like little crumbs almost on the edge. So I'm gonna take my sponge. There's not a lot of water on it, and I'm just gonna put it on the rim and then work the surface. I don't wanna change the shape of it because I know it already fits right there. So I'm not trying to change the shape, but I am just trying to make it look a little nicer and neater. And I'll do the same thing here. Pretty simple, right? Okay. All right, my next and last thing I'm going to show you is making those inside notches. So I took some recycled clay. I didn't get anything from a new bag. And what I'm going to do is just on the table or on a board, I'm going to just put it down and I'm going to flatten it a little bit. This is probably much more than I need. I'll probably only need really this much clay. And I'm going to do 3 notches. I just think it makes it a little bit safer. Okay, and then I'm going to take my fettling knife and I'm going to start to cut a straight line just to make it even on one side. And then I want to think of how thick do I want this notch on the inside, okay? So it just depends on what you like, what you want to do. I'm going to try to make it about this thick. And now I'm going to make 2 more strips just like that. So I'm really trying to pay attention to the thickness of each one. That was a little bit too thick. All right, and then to get my height, I'm going to just go across. This way, they're all the same. Nice and easy. You make the 3 at the same time. These you don't need anymore. These are the 3 that I'm going to use. And then how am I going to attach it? Slip and score, okay? So I figure, where do I want to put it? Now, because this one's already here, I don't need a notch there. Okay, so I'd probably put one here, here, and here. That would make the most sense to me. Okay, and I'm not going to push it so hard where it like goes over the edge, because this is where your lid needs to sit. Okay, so it's just going to be enough that it's stable. You push it on there once you slip and score it, and then this then should be able to sit right in the area. Kind of looks like, I don't know why it reminds me of Star Wars. Like, but yeah. Well, so that's a good question. So she was asking you guys, if you're gonna make a lid that's gonna hold a candle, how would you do the notches? So maybe, like, if your candle is gonna be sitting here and you're gonna have an opening for that candle, you can cut out a hole where the notches are gonna go, and use this to measure it. So if it's gonna go here, you would put it on your slab that's making the bottom, trace that slab, and then you can cut out that hole so you know it's gonna sit right in there. So that would be a nice way to do that. And so this is your next step. The biggest thing is cleaning up the inside and making sure that you have a nice straight line when you're opening it up. If you don't have any questions, you guys can go ahead and get going on that.
So we're doing this in